No doubt SUVs are taking over the world. They're now dominating the automotive market across the globe. While they were capable off the road before, they're now capable on road, in straight lines and on winding roads. But the emotions associated with a low-slung roadster are just unreal. For example, look at this Mercedes-AMG E53 Cabriolet for that matter. Doesn't it look seductive? Doesn't it look alluring? The charm it possesses is of the highest order. Well, the answer to all these questions is yes. But now let's get to the meat of the matter. Why do you need this car in your garage? Well, there are a lot of reasons, and let's kick things off with the first one for the day: design. Having an ugly car in your garage is not the best thing, to be honest. And the E53 Cabriolet keeps you away from this issue for sure. How? Well, it doesn't look seductive from all angles. Over to the front, it gets a very chiseled shape for the headlamps, and the face looks sharp and low-slung. Of course, the AMG pack gets you the Panamericana grille, and the bonnet, it does get power domes too. Move over to the sides, you get the long one door, and since there are no rear doors over here, this area might look like a little visual bulk to you, but that can be ignored for sure. Talking of wheels, they're 20 inches in diameter and they do look very neat and sporty to me. And we talk of the brake calipers, they get the AMG branding, and move towards the rear. You will see that tail lamps on this car are much slimmer when you compare them to the E-Class. Also, you get a new sportier splitter towards the tail section along with quad exhaust tips. Of course, not all of them are real, but what's real is the duck tail spoiler that you get over to the boot lid. Thankfully, the hat is available in various color options. For example, with this white shade, this burgundy hat, it looks really hot. This car, I think, does amplify that redhead quotient with this particular color scheme. What do you guys think of it? Let us know in the comments below. Well, step inside the E53 Cabriolet and you'll think that it is a car to have in your garage. Why so? Well, it feels familiar, that's the first thing. The cabin is more like the E-Class, and what that means is it is spacious and comfortable for the first row. Yes, the second row is very upright and it is a little cramped, so good for kids, but here I'll talk about the first row itself. So you get an AMG steering wheel which comes with a lot of buttons and these two dials that lets you control the computer on this car to have it in the fiercest mode possible. The MBUX display is one of the most intuitive and is one of the most diversified displays I have seen in my complete automotive journalism career. It offers you a plethora of options for customizations and accessibility as well. On this center console, you have this fork carbon fiber trim, which looks very sporty, I would say, and this similar theme is carried over to this inlay over here. Whereas the topmost portion of the dashboard is done in black with contrast red stitching. Now this red and black contrast theme is also carried over to the upholstery. You will see the seats get AMG badging and they are sports seats to be precise, and they hug you very tight. Now another thing that I really liked on this car is the sound system. It comes from Burmeister and the sound experience that it has on offer is just an oral bliss. Now over to the center console, you do get some special buttons. For example, this particular button lets you drop down the roof or have it back in the place. Whereas this particular button lets you roll down all the windows down and up. That being said, the space on the front seats is impeccable. There's no complaint whatsoever from my end, and I really like the way this place is to spend my whole day. And that's what the purpose of this car is. You can have long highway hauls with this one. Well, the third reason why you want this car in your garage, I believe, is the performance. And to brief you about that, let me follow the ritual. What? Well, it's a roadster and it would be better if we ride it without the top hat. Well, the process is on. The car is folding the top hat back into the trunk, and it is actually relatively a slow process, I would say, and in fact this is the slowest thing on this car. Yes, that beeps tell you that the process is now complete. Engage the gear, put the car into sport mode, and here you go. The pops, crackles, drum rolls, all of that tells you that this is an AMG. Now this one gets a 3-liter inline-6 motor under the hood, belting out a shade over 400 horsepower and somewhere around 550 Nm of max torque. It also comes with EQ boost that gives it an additional 20 more horses and somewhere around 250 Nm of extra torque surge. Now when we talk of numbers, this car can go 0 to 100 kmph in just 4.5 seconds, while the top speed is electronically limited at 250 kmph. Moreover, there's adaptive suspension, and it also comes with 4MATIC Plus drivetrain. And all of this means that you have immense grip all throughout your drive, and there are enough electronics to make sure that your ride is sporty. When you want the suspension setup to be stiff, it is. Now talking of the engine's character, well, it has enough torque for that matter, although it's a straight 6, but around the top end it redlines at 6,500 RPM, and it does have a strong pull even at that mark. Now the overall driving experience feels very plush, very sporty, but then what you would love furthermore is use the pedal shifters, downshifts. That's what you get, a strong push into the seat. Well, my cameraman could not hold the camera in place, and that is very obvious. It's not something that I should be complaining about. What do you guys think of this car? The way it sounds, the way it pulls? Let us know in the comments below. At rupees 1.30 crore ex-showroom, the Mercedes-AMG E53 Cabriolet looks like a very neat and purposeful package. It has the perfect balance of dynamics and comfortable ride. In fact, for the styling, it does look opulent and sporty at the same time. Step inside the interior, it greets you with a lot of tech, a lot of sporty elements. And that being said, the E53 Cabriolet is a car that would not make you regret your decision when you have a look at it in your garage every morning to go to your office. In fact, I'm sure it will make your office commutes very spicy.